Ugh, this phone drives me crazy.
Excuse me, I'm the Sprint intern from Sprint. Try my new iPhone XR with an amazing liquid retina display.
This is amazing. Mind if I snap a few photos? Look at that color. I love this display.
I'm gonna need that back.
Switch to Sprint and get iPhone XR 64 gigabytes for $0 per month with an eligible trade-in and a Sprint Flex lease. Visit a Sprint store, sprint.com/iPhone, or call 1-800-SPRINT1.
Phone $0 per month for 18 months after $31.25 per month. Credit applied within 2 bills. If cancel early, remaining balance due. Excludes tax. Subject to credit. $30 activation fee. Coverage and offer not everywhere. Restrictions apply.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. I am your host, Janet Lesson, with my panel of co-hosts and guests today on Experiencers Network, part of the Aquarian Radio Network, and our panelists and co-hosts and guests, whatever we want to call ourselves, are myself, Janet Lesson, Teresa J. Morris, Karen Christine Patrick, and our guest of honor, Ray Kosulandich. And Karen is going to read our little description of today's show. Karen, are you there?
Oh, I am, and I'm really excited about this particular episode because I'm an artist, and I'm just now starting to draw my own beings that I'm in contact with, and I looked over this. It's very excited. And our show's called Depicting Our Visitors in Art. It's not just the graves. Panel with Ray Kosulandich, Janet, TJ, Karen, Ray, us. Ray has some drawings of his visitors in other experiencer circles. People have been depicting the beings that they've seen. This process has been the basis of figuring out the various typologies and types of visitors. Our modern media wants to keep the typologies down to just a few types, maybe like reptilians, graves, and mantis beings. But in what experience they're drawing and talking about, it's way more complicated than that. The historical record, ancient alien style, has also shown a feline, bovine, which is cattle, bird, and other typologies. What can we learn from artistic renditions straight from the minds and memories of experiencers?
And so, Ray, we're going to focus the first few minutes, maybe to 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the show, with you giving us an update on the now 33 different species that you've had up close and personal interactions with. These are conscious contact, which means you're not like in a hypnotic state or asleep. You're awake. And we're very excited to hear about your latest escapades and the updates from your extraterrestrial star people friends. Welcome, Ray, to our show.
Thank you,
Good
Janet.
to have you back.
I want to say hi to TJ and Karen, too. And it's a pleasure to be on your show. It's been a while since I've done a show with you guys, but I've been busy and doing a lot of shows, and I'm having my meetings at a new place that I'll be at forever, CJ Muggs, and it's always the first Monday of the month. I'm at a total of 33 stars. Huh?
Where is that? Where is CJ Muggs? What part of the world?
CJ Muggs is in Webster Groves, Lockwood, and Gore, and it's a big restaurant. And in the basement, it's all carpet and everything with tables. And I have my second meeting coming up with Sherry. She's a healer.
What state?
St. Louis, Missouri.
State?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. Okay.
And I got Tolik and Alfred October the 5th. That's going to be pretty good.
Oh, wonderful. So
I will have my meetings hopefully taped starting September 7th with Sherry, because I lost my cameraman that used to tape all my meetings. But right now, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm kind of doing everything, and I'm going to get a camcorder so I can tape all my meetings, so all the people on Facebook and that are listening to your show tonight, because I'm going to give updates on Sam's show Monday. I got a big show to do there. But a lot of things are going on. What I want to, first I'm just going to say that I'm a long-time contactee. I met a total of 33 star people. There's a new one now, the giant bird people. These giant bird people are 9 to 12 feet tall. They're from another galaxy. My Fab Four is the elephant person George, who is very well known. The Nordics from another dimension. The Serpo Greys from the planet Serpo. And my very first encounter, my little 3-inch humanoid buddies from the 5th and 7th dimension. George has called in a lot of ETs. We're talking trillions and billions. It's a big project that has been going on for what's going to take place on this planet that will change into 4th and 5th dimensional. Planet Earth here will be a bigger and more beautiful planet with no disease, and we're going to be healthy. We're going to change. The women will appear to look 20-25. The men will appear to look 30-35. The women will be 7'4". The men will be 8'4". Will be tall and slim. And actually, when we go into the 4th dimension, we will be using teleportation. This is the stuff I get from my guys, and I get all this information out when I do these shows. And if there's anything bad, I don't sugarcoat nothing. There is some bad things coming up. Everybody is, even on Facebook, everybody's been talking about September. Your 7 dates, the 22nd to the 28th. Well, I'm here to give different information on that. As of September the 10th. So really, you got September the 10th to the 28th of September. But what your people have to understand on this show, because I'll be saying it on other shows, Mother Earth, our planet is really old. She's in the process of expanding out her 3rd dimensional core into the 4th and 5th dimensional core to make this planet cleaner, bigger, and more beautiful for us to be on as 4th and 5th dimensional crystallized beings. That's what we're going to be. And there will be major earthquakes, okay? The first major earthquake that happens, there will be a lot of ascension, a lot of people that are ready. Some people on September the 10th will actually bypass the 4th and go into the 5th to be master teachers with ETs, that when people come in the 4th, will know who their relationships are out there, will know everything that was taken away from them, and will be taught new things. We're going to be working side by side with these people and learning new technologies as we go forth. Some of the people that have been on this planet for like 26,000 years are going to go to their starseed planets. This is the information I get from my people. The process is taking a lot of time. There's a lot of things they were doing, getting rid of the reptilians, people that kill down here, do bad things, steal. Your reptilians will no longer be on this 3rd dimensional planet. When the frequency hits a certain point, even for us, there will be like an Earth-like planet off this planet to protect us, because we can't even cope with this frequency. But as the process moves with Mother Earth doing her changes, and I want people to understand this, these things are going to happen. There will be warnings. I got certain places that I want to give out without giving any panic to these people, because I would never wait till the last minute, and there would be a lot of chaos and panic. But in southern Idaho, in the southern part of Montana, they will be on alert. My own city, St. Louis, Arizona, and of course, California, that's real close to the ocean. will be on big time alert. People have been talking about California anyway, but there's quite a few star people around this planet that are here to help us to go through this smooth. It's our chances, humans, to evolve like we should have done a long time ago, and the way this should have been a long time ago is going to happen now. But
so, Ray, can I ask you a question on that?
Go ahead.
Pause right
Go
here.
ahead.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
what is going to be the catalyst for this event? It's starting on September 10th, you're saying?
Well, Mother Earth is going to start rumbling. You know, we're going to have major earthquakes. There's no question. She's going to go through her. She's going to go through her aches and pains. There's going to be other kinds of things she's going to go through. You know, this is an old planet.
Is this all because Planet X is in the skies, like everybody keeps reporting, or what's making
it has nothing to do with has nothing to do with Planet X. Okay, just keep Planet X out of the picture. This is Mother Earth going through what she has to go through, and I'm trying to make a lot of people understand. You know, our planet, our old planet, has to do what she has to do to become the new fourth and fifth dimensional, more bigger and beautiful planet ever. Okay, this is the information I get from George, my ETs, and the other ETs that he has called in. Each one has a job to do. Even the 33 that have underground bases on this planet and the ETs that are walking amongst us are all programmed to do what they're supposed to do. Now, you got people that run the show down here, you know who they are. They're going to do whatever they can to erupt this in some way. It ain't going to happen. They know the game's over. But this is the information I have to get out, Janet, and I do it at my meetings, and I do it on these shows, and let people know what's going on.
So we only have a couple weeks, according to your timeline, before this major shift happens on...
I understand that. That's why when I talked to Sam, I was going to do a major show on the 31st. I didn't realize I was going to do a show with you, and then when I found out it was, so I have to get it out either way, and I had already planned to do this on the 31st, the last day of August. But September is a date, and you got till the 28th of September. But a lot of people that are chosen to go into the 5th, to bypass the 4th, will be master teachers of whatever these people are taught with ETs, so that the people that come into 4th dimension, which would be right at 4849, because you got bad ETs, and the reason they're going to come in right at 4th 8, 4th 9 is a frequency that they can't compete with. So these humans won't be touched in any way or erupted in any way. And this is the information I get from my guys. I'll still be here doing what I'm supposed to do. And I was told other things, but this is major stuff I want to get out for right now. And as we go forward, you know, if anything comes up, anything changes, you know, I'll get it out. And but this is what I have to do right now. This is what us contactees do. We're voices for ET, and we get information out for them, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, excellent. We appreciate you getting the word out. How about we'll start our round table of questions, and then I think this is TJ Morris. Let me click her on. One second. TJ, is that you on 7009?
No, it's Lisa.
Oh, it's Lisa. Okay. Hold on, Lisa.
Sorry.
We'll get back to... Okay, thanks. Okay, then we'll go to Karen. Would you like to ask a question? And I'm going to keep trying to get TJ back online because she dropped.
Okay.
Well,
Karen.
I was in a situation in my life where I was suppressing my ability to make contact, and about 9 years ago that changed. And it came on like gangbusters. So before that, I was actually writing science fiction stories of different ET beings, and I was very delighted to find out that some of the people in those science fiction stories are in your pictures. So it's very exciting to me. And so it became a situation where there were so many coming at me at once. I call them all guides. They're all my guides. And I'm writing a book called Transmissions from All Guides because it came in automatic writing, so that would help me stay focused and grounded. And I finally kind of had to pick about 7 to say, okay, these are the ones that, I can talk to and relate to. And I've learned so much in such a short time. These dimensional shifts I've been very interested in. And, there's talks of densities and dimensions, and I know we're kind of in a worn-out paradigm. I'm hearing you about the Earth situation. I lived on a boat for 7 years, and I watched the water species count go down and change, and it was very, very nerve-wracking to see that, because that shouldn't be changing in a 7-year period of time if nature's got some stability to it. So it's like this worn-out garment concept, I think, that you have, that we're going to move to some next level. And it's like, it seems like a lot of people are being prepared. All of a sudden, I realized that my whole life I've been prepared for this, and also jamming on a bunch of new information that I barely have a chance to understand myself, let alone share. But I don't think we can share with people very easily. Most people around me have no idea of any of this. So could you talk about that process of how I do agree, it's like I call it Paradigm Galactic. Paradigm Galactic is all these beings together in concert, bringing us along a path. So could you kind of talk a little bit more about how you became aware of that path and how humanity starts to understand the bigger picture a little better?
Well, the thing of it is, and I agree with what you were saying, there's a lot of people on this planet that don't know what the hell's going on, okay? And then you get the people on this planet that don't care, that think, this is all bullshit and lies, whatever. These are the people that I'm trying to reach, because, we're all in this together, Karen. And this is not a perfect world here. It's not a perfect world out there. Because if it was perfect, everything would be set in stone. We wouldn't be doing these shows. But unfortunately, everybody doesn't think alike. We're human beings. We're smart human beings. We're multi-human beings. And I want to see everybody go. But you got people that want to stay in a third-dimensional world. There will be 2 planets out there the size of Jupiter that have never been touched by humans, that have 2 suns, 2 oceans. And here's one thing I want to say also with this. We're not the only ones going through this. There's other ETs out there going through the same changes we're going through. And these people will go to an Earth-like planet, two Earth-like planets out there to live out their times. On this planet, Earth, the new planet Earth, with the frequency as high as it's going to be, no third-dimensional beings can live through this frequency. They would disappear and die. And your reptilians that kind of started the whole thing, that are third-dimensional beings, are going to be in that position with other people that don't care, okay? They'll be wanting the phone number of this show, wanting to know who that person was, but it's a little bit too late. And I'm trying to save these people. This is real. This is not bullshit. I'm not here to have fame and fortune or just say stuff. This has been my life over 55 years. And Mother Earth, there's a lot of shifts going on. People are feeling these things. There's people with a lot of love and consciousness that have been ready to go. And these people are going to go. And it's going to happen. This is what's supposed to happen 368 years ago. Okay, whatever bad ET was controlling this planet at that time, that's what happened. And the reason it didn't happen, I wasn't there. But what you got to understand is all these good ETs that come in that are here now are watchers and protectors of this planet. And they're going to make sure we go through this smooth. and make sure we go through this. You know, the ones that come here to control and take over, and the way everything's been down here, poison our water, our food. You know what we've been going through the years down here. All that's going to change. Money as we know it, we're not going to be using money. We're going to be using energy and goods, just like ET. When you go into the fourth and fifth dimension, you are not going to want for nothing. There will be no poverty, no wars. This is the kind of environment we should have had a long time ago. But they stepped
Ray,
in.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick question. 2 questions. First of all, when we do this transition, is this what's called the ascension? And what happens to, you know, all of the other animals, which are so precious, and the plants and everything? Do they ascend as well?
The animals will go too, yeah. A lot of people ask me about that. I asked George about that. Their animals will go with them. The other thing you're going to have in this, Janet, you're going to have, like, married couples. You're going to have boy-girlfriend. You're going to have people that ain't going to want to go. And you're going to have the wife want to go. You're going to have the husband want to go. You can't change these people, okay? We're going to try and do the best we can. That's what I do these shows for, to let everybody know we're all in this together. But I know it's not a perfect world. We're not going to save everybody, okay? And I get a lot of these questions a lot. And, you know, we're all human. We understand right and wrong. You know, what's true and what's not.
So my question is, if this is happening, and I don't want to say why, but if I were extraterrestrials and this was happening, I would, you know, give some kind of notice to people so they could say goodbye properly, so they could, you know, finish up their lives. It seems, to me, it seems cruel to not, on some wider scale, announce this to the population so, you know, people
I understand what you're
better.
saying. There's 2 things to look at here. Whoever gets the first calling for contact, which would be an event, will probably, you know, say more. I'm a contactee. From what I understand, when we do die, which we really never die, as crazy as it sounds, when you go into the 5th dimension, I have a late mother and father. They will be there waiting for me. They will, the loved ones of the other people will be there waiting for them. This is what I understand. Even the people that are in this picture as humans, what we're going through, all the stuff we've been putting up with. And I understand these people 100% that even don't care because of the way this world has been and the control. And, you know, everybody knows what we're going through. But in the long run, everybody ends up in the 5th, even if they pass, okay? But it's hard to understand this process is set up. And I would, as a human, because we think human ways as a human being, what you just said, yeah, these people are so far advanced, they've already know how this is going to come out, okay? Thank God we got good ETs that are going to help us, you know, with the battles that they have taken out a lot of the bad people and other planets out there, and down here, underground bases that they're getting ready to take over and blow up and get rid of. Everything is going to change. All I can tell you as a contactee, and I'm one, there are many, I'm doing my job, and I'm being a voice for them. That's all I can do, and get whatever information they give me out. And that's what I do. That's what I do on these shows. That's what I do in my meetings. So I hope I kind of answered your question a little bit.
You did. We got a lot more questions. Just click on 4720. I think this might be TJ trying to call in via Skype. Hold on one second while I get her mic on here. I hope it's TJ. If not, Aloha 4720. Is this TJ, Laura? Or who is this, please? Hello, anybody there? All right, whoever it is, I'm going to put you back on mute, and we can check later. Thank you. We have a guest. I'm going to put Lisa on, and maybe she has a quick question for Ray.
I have a question for Ray.
Second.
Go ahead.
Okay, Lisa.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, please.
I want to know if when we have first contact, if we're going to have contact with the tall grays or who it will be, and about the animals. Will it be like, do we put them in crates or will we just be zapped out of here?
You will be zapped at the blink of an eye, and your pets will go with you. As crazy as that sounds, that's how fast it's going to happen. You know, they know the people, and they're so shocked how fast the majority of people are ready down here. So this process is going to happen pretty quick, but you got to understand what they have to do with some humans that will bypass the fifth, like I was saying a few minutes earlier. That are going to be master teachers. So when we go into the fourth, we're going to be ready to. You're going to know who your relationship is. You're going to know everything that was taken away from you. You're going to be working side by side with these people, learning new technologies. And
Ray, what do you mean
you're
by
loving,
who your relationship is? What do you mean by that?
Okay, if you're related to the Pleiadians, Octarians,
okay.
whoever, you're going to know who you relate. Everybody has relations out there, whether they believe it or not. Okay, other than coming out of your mother's womb. You know, we were lied to about a lot of things growing up. Okay, and this has been my life for over 55 years. I have something to do with the Sirians from the planet Sirius. But as I go in here more, there's other things I've found out, you know. But everybody's going to know the relationship, number one. And then you're going to be pissed off when you find out who took what away from us to know everything else, okay?
What does that mean?
We're all going to get educated. I've had the greatest education in the last 55 years of my life with these people. And it's great to know we have. What do you mean by who
took what away? Give me an example. What do you mean by who took what away? What are some of the things? Who took it away? And what are some of the things
that we ain't supposed to know, Janet. You know how they are. You know where they are today. You know, on the moon, Mars, and beyond. You know, me and my late father were off by a couple of years. We thought they were using teleportation in 1945. They were using it in 43. Okay? And the amount of people that went to planet Mars with the underground bases of the military, we can't even go back to the moon anymore. We're not wanted there. I don't know if you know that. And the other planets that they've already been at. Okay?
Right.
There's a lot of things been hidden from us that we're supposed to know even today that would help us with solar and other things that are going to change for us to have. And just like right now, we pay gas, electric, car payments. You ain't going to have a payment. We weren't supposed to have a payment when we find out what we're going to go into. This was supposed to happen a long time ago, what we're going to go through. To not want for nothing, okay?
But
no poverty. How would you like to live in that world?
I think it'd be great. Let Karen ask a question, because we were talking about the monetary systems of the extraterrestrials and how we can transition from here. But if we're doing this all very rapidly in a blink of an eye, then I guess it'll just be given to us what our next system of reciprocity, like it's called, balance of reciprocity. But let's let Karen ask a question here. Karen, are you still there?
Yeah, I've been following what Ray's saying with a lot of interest, because in 2009 I had a couple of years of frenzy of automatic writing of stuff that I was a journaler, and I became a contactee, and I began writing a lot of information I didn't understand. And I just sat with it, and I still have my journals with me, trying to figure out what was this about. And what you're talking about, transitional stuff, makes a lot of sense. And I've been researching all kinds of different ways that humanity took a wrong turn when Nikola Tesla came and gave us free energy, when we could have, right now, California, and I'm from Washington State, living in Texas now, and the whole West Coast is experiencing fires and all kinds of drought conditions. And there's all that exotic technology and things that are, causing that. Instead of the stuff that was given to humanity was, take us to our leader, right? The ET said. So our leaders turned everything into either monetization. They monetized it when it's supposed to be free, or they weaponized it. And that's the wrong turn. They monetized it and weaponized it. And we're all coming to that realization as they, use with these crazy ideas of, kind of wiping humanity out. It's crazy. And so the ETs were telling me what you're saying, is that there's another way to go that's much better.
Because the other thing, Karen, is the people who to control this world on our planet now, they know what's going on. And they know what we're not supposed to know, okay? But we're getting to know things. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. You just use common sense and follow as we go. It was probably the last 3 months of shows I've done. 2015 is the pace-setting, amazing year, leading up to the major year, people on this planet, 2017, that everybody's talking about. But I remind you, on this show, I'm not predicting years. This is what my guys give me, my star people. And as you follow this, because the silent year is 2016, which anything can happen. And what I will say at the end of this show, and I'll say it now, is the information I get out doesn't happen, so be it, as we move forward to 2017, a major year. But I want you to put this in the back of your head. We may not have an election. I want you to think about that as we go through this process, okay? And if everything plays out, because George and all these ETs that came in, and when the new alignment of the planets started, okay, to set this all in place, and we're not the only ones going through it. So now where George is at, he's got everything set in stone to play this out. Now, they don't have the power of what Mother Earth's going to go through. She has to go through her changes. She's a main player in this, and this will happen. But I'm letting my people, because I live here too, I'm letting them know what the hell's going on. When I get this information, I have to get it out, good or bad, and that's what I'm doing. And that's what I will continue to do. I'm not the only one doing this. There's a lot of contactees besides my friend Tolley, Peter Slattery, the list goes on, that are giving out information. And you're going to have new people come in with false information to confuse the people. That's what the other players are doing. They're working for you-know-who, okay? You still got that. This is the end game for them, and they know it. It's all going to change.
Ray, I have a question. I just want to clarify a little bit. So there are things happening September 2015 in the next 2 weeks or so.
Well, it's going to start September the 10th, yes.
Yeah,
it's going to start on that day. But as you're going...
What starts on September 10th? What are you predicting starts September 10th? What have you been told?
You're going to have changes in the places I just called out, even St. Louis, right here where I live. If the if that pneumatic fault line goes out, what do you think is going to happen, Janet?
Well, there's all
St. Louis is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Right? So I want my people on alert. All right.
What I am supporting is
we want to go to higher ground.
Apocalyptic timeline. I've always been supporting the non-apocalyptic timeline that tension is painless.
I have nothing against your theory there.
Yeah.
I'm just being realistic as a human being.
Right.
There will be warnings if this does happen on the fault line. You got a fault line in California. A lot of people are moving out of California. higher parts of California, the northern part, they're okay, but it's just common sense. What can happen here, and who's going to warn us? The people that run the show going to warn us? I don't think so. They know what's going on. These ETs are giving us vital information here, and these people have never lied to me. And I'm not trying to play God here, okay?
Right.
I'm just giving out the information as I get it. But I'm not trying to panic people either, okay? And I would not wait till the last minute to say something like this when there would be chaotic panic like never before. I want them to be aware of what I've been saying in these shows. 6 cases of water, battery-operated everything, canned goods, because the grids have been tightened by ET. In case the grids really went out like they were supposed to eliminate people, ET would send their satellites out. We would only be down for 3 hours because our whole system is set up on these grids, our computers, our banking. You know what I'm talking about. All this is in the picture, okay? And they're giving us time to act as humans on our own planet of what can happen here. And I want to see everybody make it, okay? That's where I'm at. I'm not
that's what I'm looking at, and the way, it tends to work is that people don't really listen to, the sky is falling type predictions because everybody's predicting things.
I understand that, but you got to be realistic of what can happen here. Mother Earth has to go through her changes. We're here on this planet, but they're going to take us off to a point where there'll be like a Earth-like planet when that frequency hits, and then when your first major, we're going to have major earthquakes like never before. Okay, the first major earthquake, a lot of people will ascend into the fourth. I want you to understand that. And there will be many.
It would be cruel to let people see. I come from a different perspective as an extraterrestrial contactee and experiencer, and probably a multidimensional extraterrestrial person, which is what we're discovering, is that we're all multidimensional. We are ET. We are extraterrestrials. Like you said,
we are.
We'll find out who our family is.
Exactly.
Right. So for my awareness that I have now with all the work I've been doing and all the people I've been interviewing and all this, this information that gets downloaded into my consciousness from my higher selves, is that there's many ways of doing this. One of the timelines is the apocalyptic timelines, but I was shown how this new birth process could be absolutely painless and just a beautiful new birth for everybody, with no one having to struggle, no one left behind. And so I understand this, and I get this from a lot of my friends. There's Gordon James, Gianna Noto, and Robert Evans Jr., like you said, Peter Slattery, and Cole Lake, and others.
I wish 100% it could come out your way, but here's the thing you got to understand. Here's the thing you got to put in front of you. It's not a perfect world. If it's a perfect world, which it's not, same way out there, everything is set in stone, we're not doing these shows ever again. Everybody's set in their place. It ain't going to happen that way. And here's why. There's good and bad up there. There's good and bad down here. You see what I mean? It's split. Evil and good. If it was all good, we're fairies, it's over, everybody's happy. As much as I want it to happen, the easiest way there is, we're humans. We think the human way. These people are beyond us. They know what's going to happen. They're going to protect us. And, you're going to have people that have their own opinion, that do not care. You're not going to change them people. And I'm going to try and save some of them on this show, okay? They still got a chance to do something good, to be loving. They will go. If they don't care, just like, we have people that kill down here and steal, them people are history, okay? There ain't going to be anything bad going in the 4th and 5th. I don't design this, okay?
I understand.
I'm just telling you the way It's told to me, and it looks like it's going to happen that way. But a lot of people that are loving and conscious that are ready are going to get to go to the most beautiful Earth like never before, like we should have went a long time ago, and it's going to happen in the 21st century with the humans on planet Earth. Now.
Well, I certainly hope you're right. I was watching a Celine Dion interview when it was right after the Katrina. And she had given $1 million, and she was just sobbing. And she was on Larry King, and she says, "You've got to go, help those people. They're sitting there for days." And it was such a tearjerker. I was, brought to tears myself, and it was who couldn't watch this. So I'm one of those people. I'm like Celine Dion. It's just like my heart bleeds for anyone to have to.
I'm right there with you. I'm one of the two. I've seen it too. Everybody's seen that.
Oh.
But I guarantee you, if their kids were involved in that situation, they'd have been there in an hour. You seen what was going on. Seen what happened.
So take that
on
a global scale, and I just been on board the ship, and I've been shown 24 different multiverses, and one of them was what you're talking about. But the other ones were available too. And so on a spiritual realm, yes, you can do this. I'm empowering everybody to change the channel and select the timeline where you and your loved ones, no one has to experience this Armageddon apocalypse. It's horrendous to go through it. Just remember things like Katrina and all these events that have happened. It's horrendous to go through it.
Yeah, and there's so much fear, put in on us. Back in my time, the government, everything was real, okay? Today you can tell the President of the United States where to go. That's where you're at. But they still got the fear factor going. They still play the card.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that don't know what the hell's going on, and a lot of fear, okay? And I understand it. And I understand the people that don't care. I understand that too, because of all the pressure and stuff we've been through this lifetime. When we were kids, growing up, we found out how we were lied to about things. And then I had another life where I got educated by the Star people, 12 years old. I wasn't 22 or 42, okay? And these guys have been my Fab Four for over 55 years, my family. And the 30 other all 33 that I met, they all participated, okay? They're friends of ours. They're not just friends of mine. They're friends of everybody's. People are seeing these people, okay? And when contact happens, whoever gets the wand, okay, they will be able to hug these people, take pictures with these people, go on the craft, just like everybody wants. We're all human, okay? And that's going to happen. That'll be there. And then many good ETs will come. Because you're going to have nothing but the good down here now. And you got it now.
Excellent. I can get behind that.
I
want to check this out. This is TJ. I feel very bad that we've lost her. Let me turn on this 4720 mic.
Might be 5 minutes down.
Aloha. Who do we have at 4720, and do you have a question for Ray? Hello, are you just listening, or do you have a question for Ray? Okay, I guess you're just listening. Okay. We'll go back to Karen then. Karen, are you there? Would you ask Ray your question?
Oh, I was enjoying it. I was kind of closing my eyes and watching the movie in my brain where the ones I've been in contact with show up, and we take selfies together, and I've always wanted to take a bunch of ETs. I've always wanted to take a bunch of ETs camping. I thought that would be fun. Because so this is wonderful. The premise of the show was to talk about some of the ET races. As I went through your pictures, I saw the blue people. Those are ones that I've seen before, and the ones I've been fortunate. Most of them are positive. I've had a few negative ones just talk to me in a neutral space to tell their story, and then I really didn't let them into my space too much.
Right.
Because I think that the different layers that you're talking about is like if some of these ETs really want to stay in that 3D, they're staying in the 3D. realm so they can experience the physical life and materialism. And that's really what's choking us right now on this planet is materialism and what my guide said was matter accumulation. So you have a big house with a bunch of stuff and all your friends and all your stuff and more stuff, and that somehow makes you feel like that's who you are, and you're the big shot with the stuff. And there's a lot of ETs that have been wanting that. They wanted to boss us around, enhance servants, and whatever,
right,
for months. And then the ones that don't care, I think you're talking about kind of a combination of kind of people who've incarnated that seem to have no empathy. They've got an empathy-ectomy, and they are just pretty much running amok and causing criminal behavior, and a lot of domestic abuse issues come from that kind of people. And then there's other people who really care, or they cared somewhere along the way, and they feel really beat down, and they have what's called learned helplessness. It's like the problems are just so overwhelming, and they've been reduced maybe in their life circumstances, or they tried to help. I was a caregiver. I wanted to help everybody and puppies, and I completely burnt myself out. And so I was actually in a situation a year and a half ago where I pretty much thought I was going to go, like you were talking about. I was just going to go. I was living half of my awareness was in the other side anyway, and I didn't care. My life circumstances were very difficult. And I pretty much resolved myself that I was going to go to the next level and wait for what it is I was supposed to do. I wasn't going to be able to accomplish it on Earth. But there was an intervention, quite miraculous, and I'm still here. And so apparently I'm needed here. And now I'm on the radio helping Janet. So it's all the things that you're saying are just really resonating with me. I'm kind of between Janet's view and your view, as there's really multiple ways this could play out, and a lot, I'm
not trying to cut Janet down, but here's something to blow your mind. A lot of us came here incarnated to come into this situation the way this Earth is, and even was even before we got here. As crazy as that sounds, because we have starseed families out there we're related to, okay? I came through portholes to get through here. My guys told me this. And what my job will be as we move forward, but I have to stay to make sure everything comes out right, and that's what I'm trying to do as a contactee and a starseed at the same time. And I got a lot of help. I got a lot of power behind me, a lot of ETs and contactees, a lot of contactees that are going to come forward with a lot of information we need to hear. We got safe havens for them to go to now. You don't have to have any fear. It's kind of like in the movies, but in real life, the women are the actresses, the men are the actors. This is real life, okay? But as you're growing up in this world, you start getting educated, and it doesn't take long to figure out right and wrong and what's going on and the way this world should have been. But now, it's going to get there. But, we got a little time here, but majority is going to make it. I just hope we can change some of these people that don't care. And that's right. My job as a contactee, to awaken as many people as I can for the truth, to go and live the greatest life like never before with our families and kids, to never want for nothing and have what you want, and a peaceful planet, no wars, no disease, healthy people. We'll still have doctors, but they're going to play roles too. Everybody's going to have a job, okay? We're going to be trading energy and goods, and whatever we are doing, it's going to be a world like no world we ever known or dreamed of, and in reality, it's going to happen for us. So, and then you got the people that want to stay third dimensional, and I understand that, but it won't be on planet Earth. It'll be out there with other ETs going through the same thing we're going through, and that's the only answers I can give. Nobody's really left out. They really ain't. We're all in this together.
So Ray, I have a question. So I'm hearing is that those who wish to keep playing the game, you know, the monopoly game, I call it, the money game, the war game, the, you know, greed and debt game, can continue to do so, but it'll be a different planet. It won't be Earth anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they'll be on their own planet, whatever that exists, and that'll be their game to play out. But there will be no money as we know it. And the answer to that for them is, when you don't have the money and the power, what does the greed have left? In my books, it's nothing. So, you know, they can change. If they don't, they will never be able to come back to this planet again, ever. This is what I get from my guys. Okay? There's a new sheriff in town, and they're here for the people on this planet. And it's about time.
Fascinating. We have a caller at 1446. I'm going to turn on your mic. If you're there, do you have a question for Ray? Caller 1446, do you have a question for Ray? Are you there? Okay. They may just be listening. I'll put them back on mute.
406.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry. I just clicked it again. Okay. 406, do you have a question for Ray? And hello, who are you? Thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I'm actually going to be on Ray's show on the 7th. I just kind of wanted to address something, if it's all right.
Go ahead, Sherry.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the lady that keeps, saying that it really rends her heart that everybody can't do this. So I just wanted to say that this is one of the things that Ray referred to as what they took away from us. And what they took away from us was our evolutionary process. And now we have a natural, universal, evolutionary process back. And in that evolutionary process, there's going to be 3 ways where people are going to be leaving 3D Earth. One of them will be through what people know as death, through all the earth changes. And so, when someone dies in an earthquake, let's say they go into the ocean, their spirit leaves their body because there is no death. So you can think of that as your light body spirit. And each individual spirit then gets to make a choice depending on their spiritual development as to where they're going to end up. Are they going to incarnate on another 3D planet? Are they going to go to 5D because they are prepared to do that, but they didn't want to go through the transmutation that a lot of us are going through that is called ascension, where our body is literally going to go with us instead of through death, separating from the body. So there's transmutation. Those people will go to 4th and 5th density or dimension. There's death, and those souls will choose what is appropriate for each individual soul on their individual journey, no matter how old they are when they pass. That's how it's done. And then the 3rd batch will migrate off the planet, like Ray said, to another 3D Earth-like planet, and there will not be this game anymore. There won't be this game because we won't have a cabal and an Illuminati and all the other higher-ups playing this game and forcing it on anybody. So the 3D Earths that they'll be going to will be pristine. They'll be taught that there will be no pollution. There are a few animals on those planets right now, and they will have a chance to have the kind of life that we should have had here that was taken away from us. But no more magic money, no more politics, no more religion. Okay, religion has been a big part of this, and I am saying that as Sherry because I happen to know that that's true. So those are the 3 avenues that people are going to be leaving this planet as she sheds her 3rd dimensional body.
Exactly.
And she has to shed her body just like we're going to shed our 3D body in these 3 different, well, except for the people going to a 3D Earth, in the 2 other ways. Our bodies are transmuting right now. Our cells are transmuting inside our bodies. All you have to do is change the amount of electrons in a cell to have a person go from a carbon base to a crystalline base. So no one is going to be left out or left behind. It's all an individual soul journey, soul choice. And that's what everyone else in the universe knows that was taken away from us here. And when everybody understands that, they're going to know that we're leaving the cruelty. This process is actually a freedom from cruelty, all the cruelty that's been perpetrated on this planet. Well, for at
Sherry,
least. Yes, there.
Sherry, I love what you're saying. I have a question. This is Janet, by the way. Maybe Karen has a question for you, too. Then thank you for joining us. What is the source of your information? How do you get your information?
Well, actually, I was told to move to Montana 4 years ago. My background is I was first, and that's the other stuff that you're going to learn, because what you bring with you to each life, and what I mean by that is your spiritual heritage. So I have, my first lifetime was Arcturian, and I am in association with Arcturians here in the location that I'm at. They're the ones that told me to come here because I am doing frequency work at this location where I'm at, and consciousness work. And so I have gotten it several different ways. A lot of it has been from my Arcturian master guide. He has guided me where to look for information. A lot of it's been very scientific. So he will give me a basis of the science, and I will get that through, let's say, energetic clouds that enter my brain with information. Most of the time I've been sleeping, but now I can tolerate it while I'm awake. And then, so I get pictures or images. Like when I came here, I was told that God has a God because I was really looking into all of that. So I was given pictures of how creation was created. Okay, so I get it from images. I get it from telepathy. I'm telepathic. I get it from research. Let's see, how else do I get it? There's been so many ways. I get it because I've been waking up, because I know all of my past lives, and so as my DNA has been waking up in my body, I'm pretty awake now. So I'm telepathic. I'm clairsentient. I'm a medical intuitive. I can see you at the cellular level in your body. So because when our DNA wakes up, we retrieve a lot of information that has been hidden from us because our DNA has been inactive or asleep. So it's several different avenues that I've been getting it. And I have been, just...
Sherry.
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes?
You sound great.
Hello?
You sound great.
Here.
Great.
Oh, good.
You're doing real good. No.
You're doing
fine.
real good. Sherry, so you're part of Ray's group over there in Montana.
No, I'm not actually. I did an interview with Tolek on August 6th, and then Ray kind of moseyed into my life.
Oh, okay.
And so we've done.
Go ahead.
Anyhow, I just kind of wanted to shed some light because I know there's a lot of confusion. This is a natural 26,000-year evolutionary process. Like Ray said, it's 386 years overdue. Actually, it's more than that. And so we're literally getting back the bodies that were stolen and smashed into very, very dense matter physical bodies, you know, when the Atlanteans agreed to something that they had no idea what they were getting into. So those light bodies is what we're getting back. And if people will notice, for example, fill your rib cage. My husband and my rib cage are almost totally gone because we are transmuting into crystalline beings. My skin is getting very iridescent. All the symptoms that people have, what they call ascension symptoms, are real and true. They are not symptoms from AI, which is very popular right now on the Internet, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Just put that out of your minds. It's not the AI stuff. That stuff is going away. We have billions of extraterrestrial star family members that have put tremendous amounts of years into freeing us up.
Right.
So that is happening. That is a real thing. anything else on the internet, as far as I'm concerned, stop putting it into your minds and your hearts. Stay in a place of love. You have all made a choice at a soul level, at a spirit level already, and you will all, every last one of you on this planet, be okay, because there is no death. It's just the way you transition into the new situation is going to be different. You never die.
Right.
That's right.
And I have to add, Sherry, I agree with what you're saying, and I still have this level of awareness, like Celine Dion, where she was just crying, tears rolling down her face because of the pain, that whole process of pain and fear that the poor people have to experience. I can't help but have a humongous amount of empathy, and I'm just putting it out to the extraterrestrials to please have this transition for everybody.
Okay, you can't do that. Everybody is at a different level. It has to be the three different ways, and Katrina was perpetrated on those people. Everything that happened there, and I went through a period where I was in bed because I am clairvoyant, clairaudient. I saw all those people drowning, so I know exactly what you're talking about, okay?
I felt
the movie stars put on a big show to keep us in fear and to keep us off kilter. So people must understand that no matter who they are, no matter how well-meaning they are, they've all been under control. So putting that on television is a control mechanism. Katrina was planned and perpetrated on purpose. All those souls are now free, even the ones that have been sent to etheric levels that were manipulated. They're all being freed up. The galactics are helping everyone on those astral planes to be freed up and go where they need to go. And yes, some family members will be on the fifth dimension vibration waiting for us. Not all, but some. And that's another thing that I can do. You know, I see people from the other side and they communicate because I'm telepathic and I can communicate with several dimensions, and that's another way I've been learning for the past 30 years. I've gotten a tremendous amount of education from people on other planes of existence. Okay, so it's not a cut and dry thing. It's not a cookie-cutter thing. It's an individual spirit process. Okay, we have to put Katrina and all that out of our minds now and out of our hearts so that we can move forward in what's called compassionate witness. You feel compassion, but the earth wants people to have more of a neutrality so that you can function at a higher vibrational level in a more mature manner. And that is something that's also been taken away from us because fear and fear of death have been the control mechanism on this planet.
Okay, I want to give Karen a chance to talk to you. If you don't mind, Sherry, we'll keep you on the mic on.
No, I really didn't mean to take over your show.
That's okay.
Yes, you did.
Karen might have.
It's just that I was listening and I thought, okay, that's it. I haven't come out before because my Arcturian friends did not want me to, but now is a safe period. It's a period where people really need to understand what's going on, and so I'm happy to help if I can.
Well, thank you. We've been working, Karen, and to there's a whole network of people that have been working with A.R. Borden and the Linkage Institute and the Life Physics Group. And that group was also in touch with a lot of extraterrestrial species, including the Anunnaki. Karen, would you like to ask Sherry or Ray any more questions at this point or make some statements or comments? Are you there, Karen?
No, I'm here. I just enjoyed that so much because that was kind of the basic messages I was, given as well, that there's always various levels of transition, but there's a transition. That's the big capitalized word they tell me, transition. And so that was really good. And Sherry, if you want to get a hold of us on Aquarian Radio, we're booking experiencers and people with the contactees get a hold of us on Aquarian Radio. We'll have you back. You got a lot to say.
Oh, is there a contact thing on there? I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, Aquarian Radio. Give it out, Janet. In front of me.
Aquarian Radio Network @gmail.com.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. I was listening to all of you.
Yeah,
okay. Right to us, Aquarian Radio Net @gmail.com, and we'll get you onto at gmail.com, and we will get you onto a. We actually set up another email because we were getting so much mail. I mean, this is hot. What's going on? People are waking up, so we set up another email to keep all to the people that want to come on the show.
So Aquarian Radio Network @gmail.
Yes. And, Karen is helping us to line up people and schedule. It's gotten huge. We're just taking off with this information. None of us make any money, by the way, so I hope money isn't the system. We just do it because we feel so compelled to do this. I am a contact.
Well, and we're really in the last throes of the information because this is coming very, very quickly. Very quickly. September is going to be huge, and we will have a wave of people who transmute before the major earthquake, and then I guess maybe the major first earthquake that's going to happen that will be the domino that pushes all the others is off of San Diego, 300 miles out in a dormant volcano, and I suspect it will be around September 20th, 21st.
Okay, that's going to happen to Hawaii because that's where I live.
Okay, so this is the deal. Well, if you're going to transmute, you're okay. So if you're going to transmute in the first group and a second group, which is going to probably be right at that first earthquake around September 21st-ish, I do believe initially the Hawaiian Islands are going to be inundated completely, and then the main island will come back up, and it is my understanding, well, there's already a huge mountain range coming up in the Pacific where Lemuria used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's sort of kind of the return of that continent, and that's why so much of the continent of Turtle Island, USA, will be mostly gone. So it's going to have a lot of inundation, and my understanding is from, a source from the Andromeda Council that we can look at, and even though it was years ago, there is no time out in the universe. It's space-time. We live in time-space, and that's a very different thing. I had all of my Earth changes visions in 1998, and then I, was wondering. Well, unfortunately, those are still holding true. And mine were not quite as severe as Gordon Michael Scallion's, but it is my understanding that his are the most accurate.
Have you heard the predictions from Gordon James Giannotto? You ever listen to Gordon James Giannotto? He's out of Maine.
I may have seen his map online. I haven't listened to anything, but I've seen it online.
He doesn't have a map. But he outlines it in his talks very detailed about where the new, where everything's going to shift to. But that's talking in terms of this Earth plane and not where you're going to. But he also talks about the ascension as well, as do many people.
Well, no, so this is the deal. Like Ray explained, what's going to happen is the people that transmute are going to be on a plane of existence, a fifth-dimensional vibration plane, okay? It may very well look like a new Earth, but we're going to kind of be in a holding pattern because nobody could survive the Earth changes that beautiful Gaia has to go through. So when she's done doing her changes, she will shed her outer 3D body just like we will be shedding ours no matter how we leave here, except for the people who go to a 3D planet, and they'll migrate through biosphere to do that. So she's going to shed her body, and by the time she's done doing what she's doing and Earth changes and all the continents and everything are going to shift around and be different. There'll be new oceans and so forth. She will literally meet us where we are at in a fifth dimensional vibration, higher fourth dimension. When she is done doing her earth changes, and it is my very strong understanding that will take place in a 4-month period. So by the end of 2015, she will be done doing that. And like Ray says, we're going to go into a quiet period of 2016, 2017, where she continues to grow into her new vibrational self, as well as the rest of us who are on her. Now, some of the star seeds can, it's all by choice, go right back to where they came from, their home planet. Some of them will go to biosphere ships. Some of them will go to spaceships. Some of them will go to the fifth dimensional vibration plane of existence and be with Gaia to help the people really get acclimated to our whole new environment and set up our whole entire new world on what will be called Terra. So she will be Terra again, which is what she was in the fifth dimension when she was Terra in the Andromeda galaxy before she fell to 3D.
Sherry.
And so, yes. I know, I'm rambling. Sorry.
You brought up Terra. I forgot this. To let the people know, when we get into the fifth, we will be called humanitarians.
Humanitarians, yeah. I thought we were going to be calling Homo noeticus.
Well,
Terran.
That could be too, but we're going to be Terrians. I know that.
Yes, we are.
Terrians. I have a question for both of you, Sherry and Ray. I have a question for both of you. Let's see. Either you can answer, or both of you can answer. Are you going to experience transmutation, death, or migrate to another 3D Earth-like planet or something else? Ray, who first?
They have plans for me. My people have plans for me. After they're done with me, then I'll go to the fifth, but there's other things that I will do with a lot more power, and Sherry kind of knows a little bit about that. But I'll leave it at that. And Sherry, you go ahead and answer.
So you're going to be here on this plane?
To see this through and try and get these people that don't care to come aboard, because it's not a perfect world. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, Sherry. You go do your thing.
And I'll ask Karen this too.
Well,
but Sherry, you're next.
Mine is not written in granite yet. I thought a few years back that I would be staying with Terra. I will probably be all over the cosmos. Initially, I will probably be back on a biosphere. I have family that I am going to go back to. That I'm very much looking forward to doing so. But I have a very, very, very strong commitment to Gaia Sophia. She is my very, very deep, deep, close friend. And she converses with me, and I love her dearly. And I have been anchoring love into her the past few months through the plasma energy that comes through my body and goes through the earth. So it's up to me where I'll be. I think I'll be doing several things, including being on Earth and helping humanity, the new humanity, get acclimated initially.
Karen, do you have a sense of where you're going to be?
Well, I started to think about it when I heard you guys' story. I'm kind of an odd bird in the sense that I have pretty much a feeling about myself as a... Whoops. Did we lose you, Karen? Karen, are you there? All right. There. Okay, try it again. Go ahead. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead. Talk again.
Okay, I'll start. Yeah. I was enjoying all your different ideas about that. You know what? It's kind of a self-discovery of who are you at your base, consciousness. And I kind of realized that I don't visit ships. I'm very connected to energetic beings. So it's, in a sense, like when I kind of heard you talking, I envisioned myself being kind of a light jellyfish. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I remember being inside a human body is really confining to me. And also I took a really hard journey being a caregiver for my disabled daughter for 20 years. I'm still an advocate, caregiver for family members, going through, the death and transition of family members. And it was just I feel like I need a break. I feel like
I think a lot of us are going to have a break. A lot of us are going to have a break, but it's very, very possible. I'm really picking up that you come from an oceanic type planet, and you probably may go there for a respite. You can decide what you want to do, and the moment the body transmutes, you can make whatever decision you want.
I love that. I lived on a boat for 7 years, and I watched the jellyfish, and I was like,
there you go. That's probably why you lived on a boat.
Yeah, I saw them floating around, and I thought that looked pretty good. I almost jumped in the water with them a few times. But, yeah, that's my feeling.
It's interesting that you mentioned the jellyfish, because the vision that I was given, I've been given visions all my life. I'm a experiencer contactee. I've worked with discarded beings and everything imaginable. But the one vision I was given is that we were going to go up, those who chose, that Nimna, who was the mother goddess of humanity, the Anunnaki, who was the birth mother of the hybrid species called Homo sapiens sapiens, has these jellyfish, huge ships. They can hold 1 billion life forms and all their support systems. And she, at Noah's flood, was the one that said, I promise that my people will never perish like this ever again. And then she's part of the Federation. And so these beings are out there. They're living entities, and they hold within their bodies, the life support for all these beings, and they can transport, beings like whales that don't have, legs and arms that can, create a ship themselves. So this type of phenomenon appears to happen periodically all over the universe, and so there are many species that are prepared to help with these periods of transition. So I think that
that's evolution. That's evolution, and I forgot to mention, too, with your animals, the animals that are transmuting will go to the fifth dimensional vibration with their owners. Some of the animals cannot, and that's why, the whales and the dolphins, they're beaching themselves, but they're not dying. Only their body is. They're shedding their body, okay, and they're going to their higher dimensional worlds, or they're being birthed on another ocean-like planet, because their spirits, they're eighth dimensional spirits, so they are doing this on purpose. We used to have a huge amount of deer where we are, and the deer have been leaving. So they're shedding their bodies, but they're not dying. There is no death, not even for animals. So, some animals just simply can't make it. They're, an older dog, say, who has terrible arthritis and can't make it, so their soul spirit energy will go and be birthed someplace else. And so not everyone will have their pets with them, only the ones that were healthy enough to make the transmutation, just like human beings. The ones who are not healthy enough, I'm sure many people who are listening will attest to the fact that a lot of people around them are dying, that a lot of people are leaving through death right now.
Oh, yeah, they're dying to get out of here. There's a lot of people.
I was supposed to be. I thought I was actually going to go. I was. What happened to me was I got a low level lung infection that has turned into pneumonia and bronchitis in me many times over my lifetime, and it about took me out. And then circumstantially, for some reason, I survived it. But I literally felt during that experience, because I had a complete collapse, that I crossed several timelines when I did. It was a very weird feeling, because I feel like I'm on borrowed time. I'm here to finish something, and maybe I'm going to be one of those that transmute. I don't know. That'd be fine with me, because I felt, when you get close to death in certain circumstances, I've had near-death experiences, there's a very weird envelope of energy that washes over you that's very peaceful. I was in a car accident, and time seemed to slow down, and it was all super peaceful, and I literally everything was slowed down, and I said, wow, I could die here. You know, this might just happen. And the moment I was up to that point was there's a new energy that comes in to you. And my daughter, who's disabled, had a near-death experience, and she had a choice whether to stay where she went or come back, and she wasn't finished with her mission, so she came back. So one of the things I say about these big disasters is like they show a disaster movie and there's like an asteroid and it kills a bunch of people or whatever. Is it really, you know, like 100,000 people were killed and we're really upset in some earthquake or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that each individual person is going through their own experience. They're not feeling the demise of all the other people going with them. They're going through their own personal transition as if they were sick in a bed with cancer or if they were going through a car accident. That's that right. Transition. That's your own like eternal moment, destiny, really. And I'm hearing that in your language. You know what you're saying?
Yes, it's an individual choice. But as am I talking too much?
Oh, you're fine.
No, you're fine. We just want to give Ray
the Sherry Show. Go ahead.
Okay, so my nephew passed at a very young age. He had a very strange cancer, passed 6 months before 9/11, all right? Now, when he passed, he came to me and he told me that, you know, there was a purpose for him coming through and passing before 9/11. He didn't tell me it was 9/11. But he went and he was a greeter. So in the case of thousands of people that left on 9/11, those souls decided to make this journey together. And those souls, a huge amount of them, are still together. And they have all been watching what has been happening on this planet. And those particular souls that have come through and I have seen all these years, along with my nephew who is still with them, are waiting for their loved ones in 5D. And so it's a very individual choice, but sometimes it can be a group effort. It just depends on the circumstances.
Ray, would you like to talk? We haven't heard from you in a while.
Well, I'm just listen back to my sis, so everything's cool. No, and Sherry's putting out some real good point. I got to say what I had to say for my star people. That's what I was supposed to do on this show, and I did that. And Sherry sat in the background, and she got to say what she wanted to say. So, that's where I'm at. I did my thing, and I can't do any more. I had no more because Sherry knows me. She knows who I am.
Yeah, see, we all have our segments that we're responsible for. I know a great deal about the body and how it transmutes. I know a great deal about creation and how that works. And so, and the individual soul spirit, I mean, that's my expertise. And so we all have a part to play. Mm-hmm. As well as Kolak, who is the liaison for, the Andromeda Council on planet Earth.
Right.
Can y'all hear me? May I say something?
Yeah.
We kind of slanted the show toward our ET friends and what they look like, very 3D-minded thing, and we got into a really interesting, wonderful place. I want to encourage, people to look at these pictures that were on the article about the show. That you can click on them and it becomes a slideshow, and I've been looking through them because I think it triggers something in us. Like, as I've been looking at other people's illustrations, sometimes I'll just gasp because someone will draw it and it will get it just right. Of beings, I have a insectoid being that I'm in contact with, very loving energy, and part of the reason why this being and me made a contact is because they do care for your young. I've been dealing with children issues, and the way that our system has thrown away children, and that hurts me, and this being came along, and the way that they take care of your young was so exemplary. And so when people look at these pictures, it's going to trigger, like, the ones that they've been in contact with, or maybe they've even seen in visions and dreams. And I want to say, Ray, you've inspired me to draw a few more of my own beings. I have done one pretty well and put it out there, and I'm going to try to do more because it just really made me long for the star families and the people that are all out there, the diversity of beings that can, like you said, we've had so much taken away from us, and some of it is the knowledge of where we came from in the cosmos and what is the purpose of coming here and experiencing things. And all of these cultures and beings that are out there helping us, I agree, I feel them, that they're out there helping us, as well as planet Earth being what I call a host. She's a hostess with the mostest, right? As well as the stars, our sun, the other planets, they all have consciousnesses as well. And we get to learn that all over again. It's going to be great.
And I just want to say one thing to that. And I got to see once with my late father, twice by myself, the most beautiful planet out there, Earth. And I can understand why the good and the bad, how everybody does come to this planet. It's the most beautiful planet ever. Yeah.
So, Ray, you can testify that it's not a flat Earth, that it is a round Earth.
It is round. And if you wanted to test it a little bit more, the very first astronaut, John Glenn, he told it just like it was. But, no, planet Earth is round. Now, one thing I want to add to that, because me and Tolly could talk about this, when you're going to future timelines, and this planet is moving further out in outer space, and Sherry can vouch for that, the timelines, the planet can look like a pyramid, it can look flat when it's going through future timelines. And what George does, he goes to future timelines to look back at our timeline to make sure everything is on pace, okay? And I think a lot of people get confused when they hear our planet is flat. And I've seen it 3 times, and I know planet Earth is round. That's all I want to say.
Right. Yes, and actually, she's just slightly egg-shaped because she's been through so much. But that will correct itself, you know, as she grows and expands, and, you know, that's what a lot of the sinkholes were about. You know, she will be much, much more spherical. But, you know, from some locations she might appear to be a little flat because she's been through so much. She's been through so much. The reptilians started fighting over this planet 540 million years ago. So,
is there an indigenous reptilian race that went underground during the passing?
Yeah, there is. There is.
Yeah.
There is.
I just want to share one more thing that is extremely crucial because I'm here to help individuals, and this is the month between now and September 21st where people, no matter whether they're going to transmute or not, are going to be waking up. A lot of them already have to their past lives. Their heart chakras, their heart vortex is going to be opening up because of the liquid plasma energy, light, photons coming into our cells and waking everybody up. So I will tell you that when I found out about my past lives, and I am admittedly an extremely powerful being because I started out in very high dimensions. So when I remembered all my past lives, what happened to me, and I'm telling all of you this now because I've been in contact with someone in Canada who's experiencing something similar to this, and many, many people are. My heart chakra, my vortex, the love was so overwhelming, it was unbearable, literally unbearable. And I went through days of this unbearable feeling, and it was a good feeling, but because it was so filled with bliss within our heart chakra, when we find out what we're connected to, this can be triggered, that I strongly recommend that you call on your guides, even if you have never experienced them before, because you're going to need help in balancing your heart vortex. If I hadn't gotten help, I would not have been able to hang on because it was so powerful. The feelings of love and the connection to Source Creator is so powerful, and people on this planet, especially the 70% who are earth seeds and have been here reincarnating for so many thousands of years, it's very, very hard on the body to accept that much love and connection to Creator. So to be forewarned that you're going to need help to balance. And there was someone on a biosphere that did help, a medical officer, but also my guides helped and they can do that, balance out the energies in the heart vortex, because it can be unbearable to the point where you simply can't bear it. And so if people out there are feeling this sort of thing, and you well up every time you hear, let's say, the word Pleiadian, because you're connecting with it, those emotions are because your heart is expanding very quickly. And if you have a very, very talented, energetic healer you can go to, but you have to be very careful, they can help you as well. So I wanted to forewarn people that this is what's going on the planet right now.
Thank you. I have a question for Ray, and we are starting to run out of time, so let's finish this up here. My question for you, Ray, is the latest species that you've encountered is a bird species. Is it any relationship to the blue avians that Corey Good has discovered or is interacting with, and David Wilcox has been...
No, I can answer that question because I get that question all the time. No, they're blue, and they're not really good ETs. Mine are...
Which ones are
mine have yellow wings, black jumpsuit. They're bird people from the neck up and human bodies from the neck down. They have a red crew cut, kind of like flat top, and they have yellow fur around their hands, and they speak telepathic. They're 9 to 12 feet tall. And they have a gargle when they're, it's just the instinct of the bird that's in them, but very friendly and are playing a vital role with my guys right now.
So you're saying that the blue avian are not a good species? Did you
no,
get
they're
that
really not. They're really not.
Okay.
Here's the other thing you got to understand. There's good and there's bad. And through all this years of my life, and when my late father was with me, we came to the conclusion, good reptilians, bad reptilians. There are vegetarian reptilians that worked with Tolix Procyon, people from the planet Kela back in 2011 that shot that sonic blast that blew up all them reptilian Orion bases. If it wasn't for the good vegetarian reptilians that knew the weakness of the Hydro and Draco reptilians, this never would have happened. But the Procyons play a big part in this too. So I just wanted to say that. But there's good and bad, everything.
There's good and bad, and probably in between. Good and bad parts of people.
You've got good and bad down here too. It's there.
Yes. Area code 636. I'm trying to get your mic on. Do you have a question for Ray, Sherry, Karen, or myself, or a brief comment? Area 626. You're on the air. Okay, a question in area code 636. If not, I'm going to put you back on mute. Are you there? All right. We're just going to go back to mute for 636. Karen, do you have any more questions or comments? I think we're going to this will be the final round, and we'll wrap this up.
Well, I think that it's really good for people that they're kind of shy or they've been thrown off by media or their friends to reach out to your guides. I'm working with people on how to find their guides or get a sense of it. I work with automatic writing for that. And what you want to do is set your intention for your best and highest good only, so you don't have that fear factor that, something's going to take over your hand and make you crazy. There's a plethora of guides, and they'll come in to your awareness field to the level you can handle. But I say reach out, and if you need a boost for that, go look and see what other experiencers are talking about. I tend to want to be more aligned with people who are non-hierarchical, so not someone who's going to tell you what your experience should be, but a being or a person who asks you and helps you learn what your experience is. A lot of people are having experiences, they don't realize it because it's subtle. Turn the TV off, for Pete's sake. Turn the radio off. Just have quiet time. If you don't know how to meditate, just have quiet time, and you'll start to have that feeling because there's really actually quite a few And they can't get a word in edgewise from, the squawk blocks in the corner. So definitely one of the first things my guide said, and I already didn't really do a lot of media, but was that our attention is full of a lot of media right now. Turn that off for a while. Because if you do, you will start to pick up the subtlety of the contact. So that's just my recommendation.
Great. Sherry, do you want to give our listeners one last comment before we pass it to Ray?
Sure. I think it's very, very important at this time to keep things very simple, to know that every one of you is a very powerful being, and that all you have to do is trust yourself and go within. And all you really have to do is breathe in and out. Focus on your breath. It doesn't have to be a fancy meditation, just in a quiet place to breathe in and out and get in touch with your insides. That is what media is all about. That is what media and cell phones and video games keep you from doing, and that's why they produced them. All the powers that be did not want this frequency elevation in human beings. So she's right. Turn off all the electrical and go within and trust in yourself. The sooner you do that, the more you will learn to be a discerning being, which you will need for what's coming up. We will need to be discerning beings through all of this. And not too many people have been practicing discernment. They've been relying on everybody else. And I would be quite careful about meditations online on YouTube. A lot of them have hidden messages in them, and quite frankly, I just don't trust them, not one of them. I guess that's it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing with us, Sherry. We'll have you back in another show.
Thank you
Ray,
for allowing me.
You're welcome.
What?
Ray would give you the final word.
Okay. The main thing I want to say is all this is real. We're all in this together. I want to see everybody go. It's not a perfect world, but we'll see what happens from here. And if none of this happens, I'm just saying this from my standpoint, so be it. But we're going to the major year 2017. But eventually, this is going to take place. These earthquakes are going to be real like never before. All the earth changes of Mother Earth, that what she has to go through. We just got to use common sense. This is an old planet. We're going to be on a bigger, more beautiful planet like never before. To want for nothing, no disease, no wars. This is our future, and it's going to happen. And that's kind of what I want to say, and I love everybody. And thanks a lot, Sherry. Thanks a lot, Janet, for having me on the show, and Karen. And I know TJ got knocked off, and thank you too, TJ. We love you.
Oh, thank you. And Ray, is there a Facebook page, or how do people reach you? Do you have a website?
I got an email. It's Kossie Baby, KOSSEE Baby 47 @gmail.com, and that's the way they can reach me if they want to email me anything.
Excellent. Well, thank you. So that's been another show. I want to thank Ray. Thank you, Ray, for coming on to Experiencers Network on the Aquarian Radio Network. And thank you, Karen and Sherry. Thank you for all your wisdom and great information. TJ, I'm sorry you got bumped. We'll figure it out for tomorrow. I am Janet Carolesson, and this has been another episode of Aquarian Radio. Much love and blessings, and aloha to you, and we will see you again tomorrow, same time, same channel. Aloha.